Let's unpack those movements with Joseph Busha from JM Busha Investments, who joins us this evening. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, Mr. Busha. Let's start with those overall markets. It was largely a 10 cent story, which really had an impact on the movements we saw on Naspers and Prosus, and that just picking up the market to start off the week.
Those two weight shares have been really under pressure over the last few days, as you saw. So this is just really a recovery. Naspers up about 8%. I think followed by Prosus. But you also saw a bit of some few industrials coming up. MTN also registering some positive. Ballaward also registering some positive there. So really this is just a support and recovery, but we're still very shy of where the JSE reached in terms of its highs at the beginning of the year. But I think, green is always green and it's always good. So I think the market is cheering that going into the US, which is going to have their rate decision this week.
And I suppose that's one of the components that have put pressure on the rand. Currently, if I'm not mistaken, at around 18 rand 35 against the US dollar. There's a lot of jitters around what the United States is going to be communicating in terms of its tone of the interest rate hiking cycle.
It's clear that they're going to increase 75% basis points rather. And I agree with you, they just look at the tone, is it hawkish or is it really kind of market friendly? And I think they're going to remain very hawkish given the fact that inflation is still sitting at about 40-year highs, above 8%. There are pressures you mentioned in your intro in terms of the energy sector, going into their window in terms of demands for diesel. You also mentioned in your intro that we're going to see diesel going up again this week. So if you look at where petrol was in South Africa 10 years ago, it's basically doubled. We're basically buying at the pump for about 10 rand per litre. We're sitting at about 25 rand per litre. And that is really massive. And hence that is fed into inflation numbers. But I mean, barring what has happened in Russia.
Yeah, let's get into some company updates, Mr. Busha. And I want to start with Bowen Properties. They released their interim results. That property development company, showing not only a 20% increase in revenue, but this move that they've made to build developments at the coastline is really looking like it's starting to work out for them.
Certainly. I think this basically doing your residential at a larger scale. Also M3 Cargo that also does compete in that sector. But I think 26% gross profit margins, your earnings, headline earnings per share, all 47%, above 47%. Very, very good numbers. I think they're printing. They're also going to pay dividends. What that shows basically is that people are back again into the home market. People are building homes again, and we hope that when our central bank meets again, they're not going to increase the interest rates, because that will slow the appetite for people to buy homes. They would rather go into rental because they won't be able to afford to buy homes.
Yeah. Another company update out today that we are seeing is the Glencore. They're announcing today that Elon Musk is interested in buying a stake. What did you make of that, and really just getting a sense of the direction that Elon is taking in terms of the resources needed for his products like a Tesla?
You hit the nail on the head there. So I think this is a guy, first we must celebrate as a South African-born entrepreneur who has done very well, I think, in his business. You saw when he bought Twitter in terms of the kind of theatrics he goes into, the entrance there. He's kind of the guy who said, well, you're not going to stop me. I'm going to do what I want. He's got the money. He's got the money. He is daring. When he started the electric car vehicle kind of sector, nobody really took him seriously, didn't think that it's going to take off. He was doing 50 cars per year, and then 100,000 cars per year, going into China, into India, and I think he's getting also a site in Germany. So I think he wants now to control the value chain, if you look at it, really. Starting from where the batteries are, where the metals that manufacture some of his components are. So you're going to see him basically get involved into the mining sector. And I hope it's going to come into Africa, because we do have lots of, the metals required into the EV market. So I think he's very, very kind of a trendsetter. He is very set in controlling. You can see, when he went to Twitter and all the things he's doing. So I think, this is long term, and he realized that, if he does not control the value chain, then he can't control the prices, for the inputs into the production of his cars.
Very, very interesting times. And of course, like you mentioned, when he did conclude that sale, he said, the bird is freed. Mr. Joseph Busha, as always, thank you very much for your time this evening. That